All right, guys, I am packing up my next shipment, and as you can tell, it is a lot of music. If you've been watching my videos since I started posting them, which was last year, and started doing the daily vlogs this year, earlier, you know that I have been saying over and over again about the vinyl that I bought, and then I'll eventually get to it, and I'll eventually process it and photograph and list and et cetera, and send it out. Well, here I am finally in November, and it's Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday, and hope your sales are doing well. And I finally got to it. So here's the stack of vinyl. I believe it's 31 albums once I went through them all. So not a lot, but kind of a pain in the butt to process. But I can talk a little bit about that. So this one I had to wrap like this because the bags I got wouldn't take this album. It's a Sinatra album. It is Sinatra Trilogy, Past, Present, Future. So it's 3 records in there. So it was too big to fit. So that one I had to wrap separately. And these are the albums I got. Now you can see that they're in these cool little transparent bag, little poly bags, I guess. Well, they're big, so you can buy them on Amazon, and they are really cool here because they just have a strip that you can just stick the flap onto. You just pull off the there's a strip on the sticky part. You pull it off, and then you can adhere this flap to it, and it should stay closed. And that's about it. You just got to put the suffocation warning on there, and then of course your label, and you're set to go. They fit in there, and a few of these were double albums and they fit. So apparently 3 albums don't fit, but usually the doubles will fit. So that was cool. So I got a lot of different ones here. The Eagles, I don't know which one that is. Cream, Jackson Brown, Queen. I got 2 Queens. Beatles, Huey Lewis and the News, Fleetwood Mac, another Queen, Carpenters, Roy Orbison, Dwight Yoakam. So it's a lot of like old stuff. Toto, Santa Claus. This was an old one here. This is I think a long tail. Santa Claus is coming to town, and this was a Walt Disney one from way back in the day. So that was interesting. And Minnie Riperton. So a lot of good stuff. John Denver. There's a couple of John Denvers. George Winston. So a lot of different variety of stuff, but a lot of it older, from like the 70s into the 60s sometimes. There's some 80s stuff in there. Kid stuff. So it's kind of like with CDs, a lot of different music sells well. This is all going into this box here. So I'm going to stack some of the vinyl in there, and then put the rest of the CDs. And these are all CDs I got from not from a bulk buy, but it was from a guy who was having a moving sale. And he claimed to have over 1,000 CDs, but I think he had more like 700, 800. But nonetheless, I went through them all, and I found just over 80 CDs, and these are all the ones that I was sending. He was kind of pretty heavy into punk, metal, alternative, indie rock, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that's in here. Bad Religion, I don't even know. I mean, you can take a look here at some of the titles. Let's see, Black Flag, Anthrax, Bad Brains, The Sisters of Mercy. I don't even know these guys. Original. There's a soundtrack. Well, there's a Barry Manilow. There's a Jane's Addiction. So a lot of different niche type stuff, and also some mainstream, but mostly in the punk, metal, kind of indie rock, alternative type of genres. Some of those, there's a couple in there that are going for over 50. One of them I'm selling for 69. Another one I'm selling for about 50. So hopefully those two will cover. Just those 2 sales alone will cover the cost of the buy, which is $100 for just over 80 CDs. This is my next shipment, and talk a little bit more about it. Hey guys, it's been a while since I posted a video, and I'm glad to be back posting, although I don't know with what frequency. Took a break, and the break was basically helped by being overwhelmed by a lot of stuff with holidays and with kids and events and things going on. So I just couldn't get to the videos. Also, just trying to stay on top of sourcing, listing, and shipping. I couldn't fit in fit in the videos. So I don't want to talk too much about that. Just start making videos again and hopefully get back into the groove and see what happens. So just wanted to make this video though, just to say I'm still here, everything's fine. Been feeding my FBA business with more books and more CDs, and now finally records and even more CDs. So glad to continue to do that. Last time I was talking to you about how the holidays can be really good for reselling, and this was based upon my experience last year when I didn't have very much inventory in, and I especially didn't have that great an inventory in terms of faster selling, more in demand, that type of thing. I still had a lot of the stuff that was really slow moving that I had sent in earlier in my FBA career. And now having gone through a lot of that, gotten a lot of that out, either having it disposed of or dropping the prices and moving that stuff out, my inventory is moving a lot faster now. So I'm doing more like 10% a month of my inventory versus doing 4 to 5%, which is kind of where I was. So I'm getting to the point now, it'll probably still take a little bit longer, probably into next year as I clear out all of the older stuff to kind of get a nice sell-through rate. And for me, I think 10% is pretty good. I think it's actually higher than 10% because as of today, I have about 2,565 items in inventory. And this month I am gonna sell over 300 like I did last month, but I should do better because we still have another 6 days or so to go. And today being Black Friday, I'm doing higher than 10%. In December, I should do even better. Then January will be incredible for books because of back to school, and then part of beginning of February. So these next few months are really awesome. Then you get back to kind of the normal sales in terms of books and media in general for the rest of the year until you go back to school in August. But this time right now, finishing out November strong, December is going to be awesome for a lot of stuff. That's why I'm diversifying here, trying to get a lot of CDs in, get my vinyl in. I can make some good presents for somebody buying for themselves, for somebody else, even though they're used. Some of the stuff is harder to find, it's higher priced, so people are willing to spend money on it even if it's used. And remember, guys, people buy stuff for themselves too. Everyone's in the mood to buy stuff. And also people get gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Visa gift card, whatever. So they go on Amazon, they have a gift card that they got at work from their friend, their family member sent them. They don't always get it right at Christmas. Sometimes they'll get it 3 to 2 weeks, a week before Christmas, and then they'll spend it on themselves. So remember that. It doesn't always have to be new stuff. It's not always presents for other people. It's people buying stuff for themselves from money that they got, be it cash, be it checks, be it gift cards. That's why we just want to keep feeding the beast here, feeding our FBA business, send as much as we can. And I'm a big believer in consistently sourcing, having a schedule, doing it week in and week out, shipping consistently every week. That's the way that you can sell more. It's not necessarily having a massive inventory. Of course, having a 2,000 unit inventory versus 150 unit inventory, you're going to sell more, clearly. But it's not about building it up as much as it is being consistent with shipments and with sourcing. So you got to source first. You got to get good at sourcing, efficient at it. And then you got to be consistent at shipping. It's a pretty simple process. But once you learn what works for you, with your schedule and what feels best for you. Sometimes people just want to use a software and just get it in fast. Others like to use Seller Central. It all depends on what you like to do, what your workflow is like. Some people use a Dymo printer, some people use the 30-up labels. It varies. So once you have the sourcing ironed out, once you have the shipping ironed out, you can really just improve your numbers and be consistent with that. And now with the long-term storage fees, in February and in August for single unit items, you have to be good about paying attention to that and having enough potential profit built into the items they're going to sell later on down the road, especially ones that are going to take 6 months to 12 months to sell. And if it's going to take over 12 months, then you want to make sure you have lots of profit in there. If it's a book, if it's a CD, if it's a record, I recommend making good profit, making good money, but selling your stuff before 6 months and definitely before a year, unless there is a lot of money in there and you feel that someone is going to come along and pay for it. Keep all that stuff in mind as we continue to stay in this busy FBA selling time time of the year. I just wanted to share with you guys that this shipment I'm finally getting out of the records and the CDs. I haven't sourced that much this week for a variety of reasons. So I was able to get all those CDs, and I've been working on getting those out, kind of fitting it in when I had time to work on it. And the albums took a while. If you haven't done vinyl yet, it's like CDs, right? But they're a little more pain in the butt to look up because most of them don't have barcodes. And sometimes the barcodes don't work or they bring up the wrong one, whatever it is. So you have to manually type it in, either it's FBA scan or into the Amazon seller app, and you have to look them up. But sometimes that's a pain too, because what I found out is that you find various different listings for that record, but it's not always the right one. Sometimes the price looks good or the potential profit, but then when you get home and look it up on the computer, turns out you looked up the wrong one. That just comes with experience and that sort of thing. You can use the cover flow, but a lot of times that brings up the CD, not the vinyl version of the music you're looking for. Or of the album you're looking for. So vinyl's kind of tricky for me so far, but there's some potentially good money in it. I think I'm just gonna focus on the ones that bring in a lot more money, probably sell for over $30. Not gonna really look for vinyl that's under 20 bucks. Maybe like $25 if I feel confident it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell relatively soon, within at least 3 to 6 months, and I can get it for that much. I can have someone pay that much. So vinyl I think is a little more niche. It's something I'm not gonna focus on too much, but if I see it, I'll look it up. But CDs are better for me because most of them have barcodes, and they're small, they're lightweight, and they're usually inexpensive, anywhere between $1 to $2 on average for me. Vinyl's pretty cheap too, but it's larger and it's a little more tricky to look up. But I'll probably get better about that with vinyl and researching it. So I'm a big proponent of diversifying within media. If you've started out with books are the best. They're the least expensive, they're abundant, and people are buying them like crazy. So books are great, but especially during the holidays and all year really, but especially during the holidays, Q4, you can sell a lot of CDs and probably some vinyl and probably some VHS tapes as well. So hopefully things are going well for you guys out there. I have some ideas for other videos, and I'll let you know about sourcing and sales and things like that. Had some good sales recently, been selling some of those VCRs, so I'll make some more videos, but keep on pushing through, and hopefully your Black Friday is going well. When I checked this morning, only 9 a.m. or earlier than 9 a.m., I already had like 8 sales, so that was really surprising. We'll see if that continues through the day and how it goes for sales on Black Friday. So as always, remember, keep booking.